Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're steeping ourselves in a market that's really been brewing up some remarkable growth. Detox teas. We're taking a close look at insights from a report. It's titled Global Detox Tea Market Analysis and Forecast by Cognitive Market Research. Basically, our mission is to cut through all that data, pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, and give you a sharp, well-informed perspective on this booming corner of the wellness world.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating here isn't just the impressive figures themselves. It's how they reveal a deeper story about evolving consumer preferences. We're
Yeah.
seeing a global shift towards natural wellness. We'll explore the drivers, the regional differences. It's quite revealing.
Okay, so let's dive right into the big picture then.
Yeah.
The global detox tea market. The stuff often made with herbal blends marketed to help with digestion, metabolism, maybe weight loss. It's seen just phenomenal expansion. It was valued at what, over $1 billion back in 2021?
Mm-hmm.
And it's projected to nearly double, getting close to $2.5 billion by 2033. That's expanding at a pretty robust annual rate of over 5%. That's quite a jump.
It really is. And if we step back for a moment, this growth isn't just about a specific product category. It reflects a really fundamental change in how consumers are approaching health these days. It highlights a broader trend, this conscious move towards natural solutions, functional beverages, making them part of their daily wellness routines.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, let's try and unpack this growth region by region. Starting with North America, this market already accounts for a big slice of the global sales, right? And it's projected to reach nearly $1 billion by 2033.
That's right, a significant share.
And within North America, the United States is, well, maybe not surprisingly, the leader. It grew from over $400 million in 2021, expected to be more than $700 million by 2033. But here's where it gets interesting, I think. Countries like Canada and Mexico are actually showing even higher rates of growth. Canada's market is set to nearly double, and Mexico is showing similarly strong expansion.
Yeah, that accelerated adoption in Canada and Mexico is quite compelling, especially when you think about, well, the cultural similarities to the U.S. It suggests consumer interest isn't just limited to one demographic or maybe one income level. It seems to be spreading pretty broadly across different economic landscapes on the continent, maybe driven by, unique marketing or specific consumer needs there.
Okay, fascinating. So shifting over to Europe now.
Yeah.
The detox tea market there is also a significant player. It's projected to reach close to $700 million by 2033.
Still very substantial, yeah.
And several major European nations are contributing quite a bit to this. The UK, Germany, France, and last. They're all showing strong, consistent growth. Each one looks set to reach well over $80 million by 2033. Italy, Russia, Spain are also expanding steadily. But maybe the real surprise in Europe is the consistent growth you see in smaller markets. Places like Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, even Luxembourg. Plus, the rest of Europe category itself is showing particularly rapid expansion. It's actually more than doubling its market size.
Right, and that's a key takeaway here, I think. While, yes, the major European economies show steady growth, that rapid expansion in the rest of Europe suggests something important. It suggests that maybe emerging markets or smaller economies within Europe are catching up fast. It indicates a wider spread of health awareness, a broader adoption of these products. It shows the wellness trend really goes beyond just the traditional economic powerhouses.
Good point. Now, let's talk about the Asia-Pacific region. This area is truly becoming, well, the growth engine for this market, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The numbers are quite dramatic.
Its market size is forecasted to more than double by 2033, and it boasts the highest regional compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, globally.
Mm-hmm.
China leads the region. Its revenues are projected to nearly double over the forecast period. Japan also shows pretty substantial growth. But the real standout stories seem to be India and Singapore. India's market, set to more than double. And Singapore leads the entire global market in terms of growth rate. Just an incredibly dynamic surge there.
Yeah, quite incredible.
And you've also got other contributors like South Korea, Australia, Taiwan, and the rest of APAC category is also showing really impressive momentum.
Definitely. And if we, connect this back to the bigger picture again, that rapid expansion in APAC, especially in places like India and Singapore, it's likely not just about rising incomes, though that's part of it. It's often influenced by, well, a unique mix. You have traditional herbal medicine cultures, which kind of align naturally with the idea of detox teas, right?
Mm.
And that's combined with a generally youthful population that's really eager to adopt new digital wellness trends. So it's this fascinating convergence almost of ancient wisdom and modern marketing.
It's a great way to put it. Okay, moving south, South America. The detox tea market there is showing really strong potential too, projected to basically double its market size by 2033.
Another strong growth story, yes.
Brazil's leading the region,
Hmm.
and Argentina showing particularly significant growth.
Yeah.
You've also got Colombia, Peru, Chile contributing, and the rest of South America is also surging, which highlights pretty widespread adoption across the region.
Mm.
Then there's the Middle East market. Now, it's currently smaller, but still on a growth path. Saudi Arabia leads, and there's notable expansion in the UAE. Other countries like Turkey, Egypt, Qatar are adding to that steady increase too.
Steady, if not as explosive as APAC, yeah.
Right. And lastly, the African market. Now, it's starting from a smaller base, definitely, but it demonstrates high potential. It's also projected to nearly double by 2033. Nigeria and South Africa are the key contributors there, and the rest of Africa is showing some promising growth rates as well.
You know, this really underlines the truly global nature of this wellness trend and how varied the adoption rates are. While the Middle East shows maybe a comparatively lower growth rate, it is still expanding. And the high potential you see in Africa, coupled with South America's strong CAGR, well, it paints a picture of a truly global market, one that's adapting to very different cultural and economic landscapes.
So, after looking at all these numbers, what does it all mean for you listening? Well, from the thriving markets in North America and Europe to those really remarkable surges in Asia Pacific, South America, and Africa, the global detox tea market is, well, unequivocally brewing some strong momentum. It seems clear that rising health awareness and just evolving consumer preferences are really pushing its expansion across pretty much every continent.
Yeah, the data clearly shows a global embrace of these functional beverages like detox teas. It seems driven by a real desire for natural wellness solutions. It doesn't feel like just a passing trend anymore. It seems like a significant shift in how people are approaching their health, actively seeking out products that align with their evolving understanding of well-being.
Right. And, that leaves us with a kind of provocative thought to maybe mull over. As this market keeps expanding, how will the increasing scientific scrutiny, the questions around detox claims specifically,
Yeah.
how will that intersect with these really strong, deeply held consumer preferences for natural solutions?
That's a great question.
Will the very definition of wellness keep evolving alongside the products we choose? And how will that shape the future of this booming market? Something to think about until our next deep dive. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really close look at a fascinating, booming corner of the health world. We're talking about the global detox tea market.
Yeah, our mission here is to, unpack how this whole health trend is changing what people buy, what's really behind its, frankly, incredible growth,
Yeah.
what roadblocks it's hitting, and where it might be going next. We'll pull out the key bits from our sources, give you that shortcut to really getting this topic.
It's interesting. We're seeing a huge shift, a real transformation in how people approach their health these days.
Yeah.
What's really striking is this turn towards natural remedies, for internal cleansing, metabolism support, even weight management. It seems linked to a growing awareness around, chronic issues, obesity, fatigue from modern lifestyles. And that's really pushed up demand for plant-based wellness drinks. It's quite something.
Okay, so let's dig into that. Why are these teas catching on so strongly? They often feel like, more than just a beverage. What's the magic ingredient, so to speak? Well, the teas themselves often contain herbs people recognize: dandelion, ginger, green tea, sometimes senna. And they're not just seen as supplements anymore. They're becoming part of a whole self-care routine, a holistic approach. And like you said, it's global. It's not just one place. You've got gym folks in California with their green blends, professionals in Tokyo using Ayurvedic types. It's everywhere.
That global spread is really something.
Yeah.
So what are the main things driving this? What really kicked off this widespread appeal?
Well, a big part is definitely consumers wanting natural herbal options for cleansing. They're consciously moving away from synthetic stuff. But interestingly, there's this paradox, right? A market built on natural is heavily driven by, digital trends and influencers, especially millennials and Gen Z. They're seeing these detox routines pushed on social media, people they follow endorsing clean living, gut health. So they see it online from people they sort of trust, which creates this interesting dynamic between the natural product and how it's sold.
That's a really sharp point, the digital driving the natural. And the consumers are changing, and maybe wellness itself means something broader now. So how has the market kept up? How has it evolved beyond, say, just basic green tea or lemon tea from a few years back?
Oh, it's much more sophisticated now. You're seeing loads of specialty blends. Think turmeric, matcha, moringa, different Ayurvedic herbs. These are popular not just for the potential health benefits, but also because they have a cultural connection for some people. And it's interesting, in places like Germany and India, the actual regulations are increasingly supportive of natural healing. That gives these herbal brands more legitimacy, more shelf space.
Right, regulations actually helping natural products. That's unexpected. And of course, e-commerce. You can't ignore that. How are brands using the online world to sell these newer, fancier blends?
It's heavily direct to consumer now. Wellness startups, even older brands like Fiti, Teeny Blends, Yogi Tea, they're all in on digital models. They offer things like curated subscription boxes, guides that pair tea with fitness routines, special cleanse programs for different seasons. Plus, you have the whole influencer marketing thing, unboxing videos. It turns buying tea into a lifestyle experience. That's particularly true in North America. Convenience, personalization, easy digital access. That's what consumers there really value. It's not just tea, it's part of their curated life.
Okay, so far it sounds like a runaway success story. But like with any hot market, there must be some bumps in the road. What are the big challenges? What could, cool down this growth? Are brands facing up to them?
That's the crucial part, isn't it? How long can this last? A major worry is, frankly, the lack of solid scientific proof for many health claims. Marketers might talk about toxin removal or rapid fat loss, but regulators like the FDA in the US or EFSA in Europe, they've raised concerns, especially about exaggerated claims for products with diuretics or laxatives like Senna. That lack of strong evidence. It forces brands to either innovate with stuff that is backed by science or find a very specific niche. And there have been issues: dehydration, mineral loss, people getting too reliant. That fuels skepticism, makes consumers check labels more carefully.
Right. And I feel like there's always been this sense that detox teas are maybe just a fad. Is that still a challenge?
Oh, absolutely. That perception sticks. They're often seen as short-term things, seasonal maybe. You see sales spike around New Year's resolutions or before summer, right? Then they drop off. Maybe people get bored of the taste or don't see the results they hoped for. It's a big difference from daily habits like coffee or regular green tea. So detox teas have this constant fight to stay relevant outside those cleanse periods. Without new products all the time, getting repeat customers is tough. Building loyalty is hard.
So beyond that perception issue, what about competition? Are they just up against other tea companies, or is it wider than that?
Much wider. Yeah, the competition is fierce, and it comes from related wellness categories. You've got all the functional drinks, kombucha, vitamin waters, those superfood juices. They offer similar benefits, but they're often more convenient, quicker to drink. And then you have herbal supplements in capsules or powders. They deliver concentrated nutrients without needing to brew anything. That appeals to busy people, fitness types. So in this really crowded space, detox teas need to stand out. They need their unique selling point. Maybe it's total authenticity or super clean ingredients or fitting into a bigger picture: mindfulness, nutrition, even skin health. They can't just be a standalone drink anymore.
That makes sense, that competitive pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, putting it all together, what's the outlook? Given the challenges, where are the real opportunities? How do they find that unique edge?
A big opportunity is definitely in customization and clean label innovation. Consumers want specific solutions for bloating, clearer skin, liver support, whatever it is. So brands are creating really precise blends. And they're pairing them with lifestyle kits, maybe app-based diet plans, getting certifications like non-GMO or caffeine-free. You even see things like QR codes on the packaging linking to meal plans or wellness journals. It transforms the tea from just a drink into like a whole wellness tool. It's moving away from the quick fix idea towards something more integrated.
That personalization focus is clever. Makes it feel less generic, more like your solution. And speaking of evolving, any exciting new ingredients changing the game?
Yes, definitely. We're seeing a lot of adaptogens making their way in.
Adaptogens.
Yeah, things like ashwagandha, holy basil, natural substances thought to help your body handle stress, find balance. And other superfoods too: spirulina, reishi mushrooms. They're being added to detox formulas. So now the teas offer stress relief or immune support alongside detox effects. That helps reposition them as something you might drink every day, not just during a cleanse, makes them relevant year-round. And We have to talk about influencers again. They are massively shaping sales, particularly with Gen Z and younger millennials. Instagram, TikTok, they're huge launch pads. Fitness gurus, wellness vloggers, they show their routines, sometimes before and after pics, offer discount codes. Brands get huge credibility from all that user-generated content, especially now with social commerce, where people buy directly from social media. It's a major driver in markets like the US, the UK, Southeast Asia, places that pick up trends quickly.
It's really wild how much social media dictates things here. So with all this activity, who are the main companies, the big players steering this market? How are they managing it all?
Well, you've got some well-known names: traditional medicinals, yogi products, puka herbs, Titulia tea, also our Twinings, Celestial Seasonings, Granum. Their strategies are pretty broad. They're launching new products, new SKUs all the time, expanding into new countries. They're also doing things like joint ventures, linking up with wellness apps, focusing hard on sustainability in their sourcing. Think carbon neutral packaging, getting special herbal certifications, being transparent about where ingredients come from Sri Lanka, Nepal, Kenya, places like that. And after the pandemic, many tweaked their supply chains, really leaned into creating online wellness content, and made home delivery a priority, adapting to how we live now. So yeah, it's really clear the detox tea market isn't some small niche anymore. It's this expanding global wellness system. It's all tied up with lifestyle choices, sustainability concerns, and how we engage online. It really shows how health trends can become, well, cultural movements.
And that neatly brings our deep dive for today to a close.
So maybe just a final thought for you to ponder. Given how much this market emphasizes a personalized lifestyle, digital connections, and the sort of holistic customization, how might our own definition of wellness keep changing? Will it move further beyond just what we eat or drink to really embrace a wider digital world and community experience? Something to think about.